Bro. I'm sorry, I'm watching this France and Senegal match, and this is insanity. Like, truly, I'm watching it, and it's insane. Well, hold on, let me start up on YouTube. Assalamu alaikum to everybody watching, by the way. Um, that was insane. That was insane. Okay, wait, let me mute this. Because we got a live to host. Naam? Wait. Bro. Oh my gosh. Bro. Bro, oh my gosh. France versus Senegal might be the craziest match so far in the World Cup. That might have been, bro. Mbappe is devious. That's all I gotta say. Mbappe is a devious individual. Assalamu alaikum to everybody pulling up. Assalamu alaikum, assalamu alaikum, assalamu alaikum. Hope you guys are doing good. We're not doing this topic today. We're doing no. We'll play some defense. Inshallah. Got some defense. Assalamu alaikum, assalamu alaikum. Chat. Hope you got. There's no way France. Bro. Bro, I'm sorry. What am I seeing, chat? It's over, right? Or did they add another 8 minutes? I'm sorry. I'm in and out because I'm trying to see what's going on with this World Cup game while simultaneously we gotta cook up a live. Hey, it's Cora. You already know. France is cooking. R.I.P. Senegal. I was actually so split about it. I was like, I don't know. I don't know who's possibly going to win, but that's crazy. And later we're gonna turn Algerian. And we're gonna be supporting Algeria against Argentina. So, okay. Well, assalamu alaikum. Hope you guys are doing good. I don't know if we should do this topic or if we should do, what is it called? Christianity is false. What do you guys think? Do you guys like this topic? You know, Islam is true, prove me wrong. Or would you prefer we go on the attack? I low-key prefer this topic. I think we've kind of had a great deal of arguments against Christianity. I think we should play some defense. Can you defend? Of course you can, bro. If somebody wants to come up here and present an argument that would disprove Islam, by all means, let's see. Let's see if you can do it, man. I'm waiting. We have, in fact, been waiting. Run the mustard seed dilemma? No. Cora, how are you? I'm doing well, alhamdulillah.
Hello.
Hello, are you a non-Muslim?
No, but I just want to say, keep doing the good work you're doing.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Alright.
Alaikum salam. Bye.
Alright, assalamu alaikum. Bye. W to bro. W to bro. Whoa. Why is this person not loading? That's fine. Whoa, do not expand the person. What in the world, chat? What are we seeing?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well, how are you?
Good. So one of your videos came across my For You page, and I thought it was pretty convincing, and I want to know if you would talk about it.
Sure, what video are you referring to, man?
Well, it said something to the effect of, like, I guess Jesus said he wouldn't drink something on Passover, and then there was at the cross he did. And it seems like if that's true, then I don't know, like the whole cross is kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I got you. If you don't mind me, wait, hold on. For everybody in the chat, is it still echoing or is it fixed? It might still be echoing, I'm not sure.
Seems like that would be just like a lie on the
Fixed?
cross. I don't
Okay,
know.
perfect. Yeah, well, that argument is something that I ran, I think it was like maybe a month and a half ago. I don't really use it too often anymore. But it's mostly just because it's kind of, you know, you don't want to be running the same stuff consistently, but the argument essentially goes, Jesus promises the disciples that he will not drink from the fruit of the vine from that point, which was the Last Supper, up until the point in which he is reunited with the 12 disciples in his Father's kingdom, which is referring to heaven. And fruit of the vine it's referring to grapes. So he's saying that he will not drink from anything that comes from grapes, right? The fruit of the vine. And then, according to the Gospel of, I believe it's the Gospel of John. Yeah, it's the Gospel of John. It says that Jesus is fed what is called sour wine or wine vinegar, which does come from the fruit of the vine. And if it's the case that he drank this, which the Gospel of John says that he did, then he would not have honored his promise to the disciples at the Last Supper.
Yeah. I don't. So, like I said, I saw your video afterwards. I guess John says something but it was what he said at the supper that was really, like, I guess, convincing or whatever. So, I think it was in Matthew, maybe?
Yes, it was in Matthew.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, can you just read the verse?
Yeah, of course, man.
Sure.
No problem. Alright, it's Matthew 26:29. It says, "But I say unto you, I will not drink henceforth of the fruit of the vine until that day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom."
Yeah, that's the one that's hard to deal with. So, I guess I got to do my due diligence and try to push back on it a little bit.
Yeah, for sure, man. Good.
Yeah, so it was originally written in the Koine, right?
In the what?
It was originally written in like Greek, yeah?
Yes, in Koine Greek.
Oh, okay, cool. So I'm just going to read it in that. Cool. So lego de humin hume pio haparti ektautu tu genamatos tes ampelohios tes himeras ekanas auton autupino meth human kainon ente basileet tu patros mu. Now, Cora, I would like to render a grammatical argument against the position.
Okay, let's hear it, man.
Right, so if we take Lego in the present active indicative of the first person singular, which is this historic present, and then day is a
Wait,
post-positive
for which word?
conjunction.
Wait, for which word? I'm looking at the Greek right now. So which word?
Yeah, Lego.
Lego. Yep,
Yeah,
I say.
I tell you.
Yes, I say.
Yeah. Then we go to the post-positive conjunction and the transitional continuative, right?
Yep.
Which is followed by humin in the dative second personal pronoun. So there's an aorist active subjunctive in the first person singular of homepio, right? And so this is where the objection is going to fail linguistically.
Let's see.
So hume is the aorist subjunctive, right? So that's just the strongest emphatic negation. So it's sort of a hyper negation in accordance to Mounce, or it's in accordance to like Wallace, but that rules out even, right, the potentiality of the action, right? So
Okay,
hold on.
so wait, hold on. So let's break this down. Is it the case that Jesus says that he will not drink from the fruit of the vine?
Yeah, but the problem you're going to deal with is the
Wait,
demonstrative
it's a yes or no
pronoun.
question. Does he say
Oh.
he will not drink from the fruit of the vine?
Yeah, I'm rendering a grammatical argument
I'm
that's going to
asking
render
you
that
to
position.
answer,
useful.
and I'm asking you to answer a simple yes or no question. Does
Yes.
Jesus say that he will not drink from the fruit of the vine?
Yes, do you not want me to
Okay,
render
and
my argument
then
that's going to
wait,
negate the
hold on.
position?
And then he continues, and he says, "From now up until the point in which I am reunited with you in my Father's kingdom." Correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what's the contention?
Yeah, the contention is that it's going to fail linguistically because the demonstrative pronoun of tautu, in conjunction with the articular of genma, tightly restricts the referent to a specific covenantal cup. So there's a BDAG and lexical precision that distinguish the oxos, which is a sour wine vinegar pascha on the cross. And you're going to have to collapse those two and
Yeah,
ignore
does
the
oxos
Koine
come?
lexical
Wait, hold on. Does
boundaries.
oxos come from the fruit of the vine?
Yep.
Does Jesus say that he will not drink from the fruit of the vine?
Yeah, I've given
Does
you a
Mark and
grammatical
Luke,
argument.
wait, hold on, does Mark and Luke, specifically for a theological reason, exclude the drinking of the oxos because of the covenant that is made in Matthew?
Yeah, you're not dealing with the
I'm
demonstrative
asking you
pronoun
to
and
answer a
anaphoric
question.
means.
Do Mark and
Yep.
Luke
The answer is
completely,
yes.
and okay, so Mark and Luke completely exclude him drinking from the oxos, correct?
No, there's a demonstrative pronoun that
I'm
this cup
asking
can
you a
only mean this
question.
cup.
Do
So you're
Mark,
not dealing with the
and you're
argument,
not
Cora.
answering. This is so embarrassing. Why aren't you answering the
Oh, it is.
question?
So can
Do
you deal
Mark
with the
and
demonstrative
Luke,
pronoun negation?
do
I've given you a
Mark
grammatical
and
argument.
do
You
Mark
have to
and
give me a
Luke,
grammatical refutation, Cora. I gave you a grammatical argument.
do Mark and Luke, wait, we're dealing with the passages as of right now.
Yeah,
Do
and it's
Mark
Greek
and
grammar.
Luke
I gave you a
exclude, can
grammatical
you
argument.
answer
You have
the
to give me a
question?
grammatical
Wait, can you answer
refutation.
the question?
Yeah, can
Do
you give me a
Mark
grammatical
and
refutation?
Luke, is this guy okay? Do
Yes.
Mark
Mark
and
and Luke
Luke,
do, yeah.
why are you so panicked? Do Mark and Luke exclude him drinking from the oxos?
Yeah, there's a positive negation there, but
Why?
you haven't dealt with the
Answer the question. Hey,
demonstrative.
wait, hold on, calm down. Let's
Deal
go
with
slow.
the grammatical
Come
argument
on, let's go
of the
slow.
demonstrative
We're dealing
pronoun
with
of
it right
tautu.
now. We're dealing with it
Okay,
right now.
cool.
Go slow.
So it's a
okay?
dialectic function,
Go
an
slow.
anaphoric
Calm
demonstrative
down.
pronoun,
Is
which
this
means
guy
this
gonna
and only
engage?
this.
Is this
Deal
guy
with the
gonna
grammatical
engage?
argument.
Wait, hold on. We're gonna go slow and we're gonna deal with it. Do you want to engage or do you want to freak out?
Yeah, let's engage.
Okay, let's engage. So Mark and Luke specifically exclude him drinking from the oxos. Oxos comes from the fruit of the vine, correct?
Yep.
And Jesus says he will not drink from the fruit of the vine, correct?
Yep.
And Mark and Luke exclude him drinking the oxos, which comes from the fruit of the vine, correct? Why do Mark and Luke exclude him drinking from the oxos?
Yeah, because you haven't dealt with the demonstrative pronoun. With the
Wait, answer the question. Why do Mark and Luke exclude
grammatical
it?
argument, Coral. Why are you
Answer
afraid
the
of it?
question. Why do Mark and
just
Luke
did.
exclude him drinking from the fruit of the vine?
Yeah, the exclusion isn't the exclusion you think it is because of the
I'm
demonstrative
asking,
pronoun.
wait, you already
and why are you
conceded it's
panicking?
an exclusion. Tell me
Why
why
are
they
you-
exclude it.
Of course, now, but there's a this and only this within the
Answer
demonstrative
why
pronoun.
they
Why are you
exclude
freaking
it.
out?
Why do Mark and Luke exclude it? Tell me.
Is that a grammatical refutation?
Why do Mark and Luke exclude it? Tell me.
Is that I've given you a grammatical argument. If you can't grammatically
Are
work
you
your way
going
out
to
of it, then
answer
you'll
my
have to concede
question?
the
We're
position.
dealing with the passages right now.
Yes, in
so
its
you're
original
going
language.
to have to deal with the
I
text.
just did linguistically.
You already conceded
Why are
that
you
in
panicking
Matthew
that you
26.
cannot deal with the argument linguistically?
Is this
Cora,
guy okay?
Give me a grammatical argument.
Matthew 26, Jesus says he will not drink from the fruit of the vine. Oxos comes from the fruit of the vine. Mark and Luke exclude him drinking from the oxos. I want you to tell me why Mark and Luke exclude him drinking from the oxos.
Yeah, because you're not dealing with the linguistics. I give you a
That's not an
grammatical
answer.
argument.
This guy just embarrassed it. So this guy, he doesn't know. He doesn't know why Mark and Luke exclude him drinking from the oxos. What an embarrassing guy. The reason why they exclude him drinking from the oxos is because they know that if he drinks it, it's going to contradict the covenant at the Last Supper. So even they concede that this would be an issue if he drank from the oxos. What an embarrassing guy. See, that's what happens when people try to go fast. You slow them down and you stop them. Poor guy, man. Poor guy. Yeah, Corey, you're just not grammatically dealing with it.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm fine. Okay, so the topic is Islam's the truth, right?
Yes, and I want you to prove me wrong.
Hi, why your sound suddenly becomes small? Can you?
Oh my god, hold on, just give me a sec. Wait, I don't know why this always happens. Is it, should be a little bit better. Nope, I'll fix it.
Just now your sound is good.
Okay, nope, still low.
But your sound is smaller than.
Oh my god.
It's okay. I think we can proceed.
No, we
No
can't.
problems. Why?
Because I need to fix this first.
Okay, it's okay. I will wait for you.
No worries, mate. Let's fix the camera first. Okay, That's fixed. Fix it on the YouTube. That's fixed as well. Now my mic.
Ah, nice. Nice.
Hold on, the mic's echoing. Turn this up. Nope. Still low. Fix this. Okay, I don't know why the mic did that, but should be better. Can you hear me? There's an echo?
Okay,
Yeah, I'm
yes.
gonna fix it.
A bit echo, but it's okay for me.
Still echoing?
A
Echoing
bit.
bad, bro. I don't
A
know why
little.
my mic always does this. This is weird.
But it's okay. It's okay. I
No,
still can
no,
hear
no,
you clear.
it's not okay. We're gonna fix it.
Okay.
What the heck? The funniest part is it's only echoing on TikTok. On YouTube, it's fine. Get a new mic. It's not my mic, it's TikTok Studio. Because on YouTube, it's fine. Let's fix it like this instead.
Alright.
Hello?
Hello. Yeah.
Alright. Continue now. Do you have an argument to prove Islam false?
Yes. There's a big contradictions.
Contradictions in
Okay.
Islam?
Yes, in the Quran.
Alright, show me, man. Let's see.
Okay, Surah 2, verse 256 says no compulsion, right?
No compulsion in religion?
Yes.
Yep, no compulsion in religion.
But in Surah 27, about the story of Solomon and Queen Sheba, we see that Solomon tried to compel Sheba to become Muslims.
But what is what is compulsion? What does ikrah mean?
Compulsion, you means you force someone, right? You force someone.
No, okay.
Compel,
Well,
compel.
ikrah in Arabic, that ikrah. That's the word that's used in Surah Al-Baqarah. Now, what's the verse in Surah 27?
Verse 37.
37. Okay, let's read it.
Yes. 37. Solomon said he's going to send an army.
And, well, what's going on here?
Yeah, okay, he's going to send the army, right? And then if you read a tafsir, okay, and then you will see.
I'm asking you, min al-Quran, right? From the Quran, we want to see the contradiction, my friend. Don't go to the tafsir. I want you to show a contradiction in the Quran.
Yeah, but the tafsir explained the Quran.
Yeah, but is there a contradiction in the Quran itself? No tafsir?
Wait, the tafsir explained the meaning of Quran.
I'm asking you a question. Is there a contradiction in the verses of the Quran itself?
Oh, if we only look at the verses only, right? Okay, it seems like there's no contradiction.
Okay, so where's the contradiction in the Quran then?
Yeah, because I'm telling you Surah 2 verse 256.
La ikraha fi din. This verse is talking about Solomon. You already conceded that if we take the Quran by itself, there is no contradiction here, correct?
Only. Yes, if you look at the text only without understanding.
So there's no contradiction in the Quran then?
Whoa, wait. If we look at the text without understanding, but if we...
Wait, hold on. I'm asking you very simply. Regardless of appealing... What tafsir did you want to appeal to? Which one? Did you want Ibn Kathir? At-Tabari, okay.
Yes, Ibn Kathir. We can go to Ibn Kathir.
Without appealing to Ibn Kathir, we're talking about a contradiction in the Quran. Is there a contradiction in the Quran itself? That's my question.
If you only look at the text itself without understanding, it will not...
okay, so the Quran itself doesn't have a contradiction then. Okay, now we can go to the tafsir. Let's see what the tafsir says.
Okay, but I don't think your understanding is
No,
is correct
you
because
agreed. Yeah, you agreed that there's no contradiction in the Quran. So now we can go to the tafsir.
okay, you are trying to separate Quran and tafsir.
Yeah, of
Okay,
course. The Quran and tafsir are absolutely separated. But now we can go to the tafsir. There's no problem.
okay, okay. Now we go to tafsir bin Kathir. Verse Surah 27. And then you go to verse 37.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want me to read it for you?
No.
Okay.
So which part of the tafsir says that she was being compelled, or people were being compelled or forced into the religion of Islam?
Here. Okay. Tafsir bin Kathir, right? Nay, you rejoice in your gift means you are the ones who are influenced by gift and presents. We will accept nothing from you except Islam or the sword.
Okay.
Yeah, do you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a compulsion, right?
No, they're not being forced into the religion. They can choose not to accept.
Whoa, but that is Islam or the sword. What are you? Oh my God! How is this not a compulsion? Islam. I mean, sword mean war and death.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Were they not already at war?
No, there's no war between.
Okay, so
Solomon-
he's sending an army. What's the context of him sending an army?
context of
Yeah,
who's sending the army.
yeah. Wait, the context of the verses leading up to this. What is happening here? Do you know the
You want
verses
me
prior to
to-
this?
I know about the story. Yes, because
Okay, so
about
so
the
explain
story.
to me what's going on here.
Okay, the first, okay, Solomon, initially, he was looking for his hoopoe bird. Okay? And he cannot find the bird, and he get very angry. Okay, so he said that he will, threaten to kill the hoopoe bird, if the hoopoe bird cannot give a proper reason. And then when the hoopoe bird came back to him, the bird tell him.
Wait, I'm
that
asking you. Wait, the verses leading up to verse 37. What's happening here? If you want, I can read them if you don't know.
Okay, you read it.
Yes.
Let me see.
She said, O chiefs, advise me in this matter of mine, for I would never make a decision without you. They responded, We are a people of strength and great military might, but the decision is yours, so decide what you will command. She reasoned, Indeed, when kings invade a land, they ruin it and debase its nobles. They really do so. But I will send him a gift and see what response my envoys will return with. When the chief envoy came to him, Solomon said, Do you offer me wealth? What Allah has granted me is far greater than what he has granted you. No, it is you who will rejoice in receiving gifts. Go back to them, for we will certainly mobilize against them forces which they can never resist, and we will drive them out from there in disgrace, fully humbled. Solomon asked, O chiefs, which of you can bring me her throne before they come to me in full submission? So, let me ask you this. What is the context of the army being sent? Why is the army being sent, my friend?
Okay, are you now saying that Queen Sheba sent army to Solomon?
No, I'm asking you a question. I'm not saying anything. I'm asking you a question. Because when you make arguments, you should understand the context of the verses you're quoting.
I fully understand because I have read this story.
Okay, if you've read it, then what's going on here? Tell me.
Okay, because Queen Sheba, she did not send any army.
I didn't ask you that. I asked you, what is the context? What is leading up to this? I'm asking you. If you know your argument like the back of your hand, what is going on here?
What is going on is Solomon, he sent a letter to force Queen Sheba to submit to him, to become Muslim. And
Wait,
then Queen
he
Sheba,
sent a letter to force her?
Yes, there's that
So
letter.
wait,
is-
so sending a letter means you're forcing them into a religion?
if you read the tafsir, it is a threat. That letter is a threat. Verse 31 is a threat. I can show you the proof from tafsir.
Wait. So sending a letter to someone and telling them to accept the religion of Islam means you're forcing them into a religion?
According to the explanation in the tafsir, yes. I wish you do.
So the
do you want me
tafsir
to
says,
show-
wait, so the tafsir said they were forced into Islam?
The tafsir says, if you do not obey what I told you to, I will fight you. And then another tafsir says,
Wait, that's
if
not
you
forcing
don't-
them into the religion?
if you do not obey what I said, I will fight you. Is this not?
That's
is
not
this
forcing them
not-
into the religion. No.
Oh, are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, but
Like let me
just
ask
now,
like let me ask you a question. When the Quran said, you know what? Since you don't understand the context of this, what I'm gonna have to do is we're just gonna break it down like this. What is a contradiction?
well, you say there is no compulsion, right? But for me, this is compulsion. When you say to someone that if you do not obey me, I will fight you. This is compulsion.
Wait, I asked you what a contradiction is.
A contradiction is
Yes, what is a contradiction?
when two statements contradict each other.
You
that
can't
have
you,
the
you
different
can't
meanings.
use the word contradiction to define the word contradiction. You can't do that. So I'm gonna ask you simply, what is a contradiction? Tell me, what is the definition of a contradiction?
I know the meaning, but how am I going to explain it to you?
If you know the meaning, then give me the definition, bro. What's going on here?
I know the meaning. No contradiction.
I can
Let me
hear you
see.
typing, bro. I can literally hear you. I can tell you what it is. I can hear you typing,
Oh,
though.
yeah.
Don't do that. Don't
Okay.
do that, please.
Okay, the contradiction is two statements or a situation that oppose to each other.
Okay, so in the exact same sense, at the exact same time, in regards to the exact same things, correct? So it has to be in the exact same sense.
Oh, okay. So your point is?
Okay, yeah. So if Islam, so لا إكراه في الدين is with regards to this Sharia, correct?
Okay.
That's the context of Surah 2. لا إكراه في الدين is referring to this Sharia, right?
Okay.
This is a ruling that's being established for this Sharia. Now, if the Quran is speaking about something that happened in a previous time, and then there is a ruling sent for this Sharia, that's not a contradiction.
Oh. Are you telling me that the law during Solomon time is different from the law during Muhammad time?
Absolutely, yes, absolutely. Absolutely, that's exactly what Muslims affirm. Now you understand. Now we're on the same page. Yes, the law in Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's time is different from the law previously. So now you understand the Islamic position, correct? This isn't a contradiction. Even if I conceded to you that here there is compulsion being done on Solomon's part, which I don't concede, it still wouldn't be a contradiction.
How?
Because لا إكراه في الدين is being imposed in the Sharia, and Solomon didn't live in the Sharia. So even if I conceded it, it's not a contradiction.
Okay, but
Do you understand?
I don't agree. Okay, I got the idea. Okay, but now let's focus on Muhammad times. Okay, you say, okay, are you not telling me that Muhammad? I mean the law during during Muhammad time do not allow forcing of Islam on anyone.
Yeah, لا إكراه
Do you-
في
do you-
الدين. Yeah.
Yeah, but I can show you a lot of narration from tafsir that says the pagan Arabs, they were forced into Islam by sword.
Wait, is that a contradiction?
If I can prove you wrong, and then the contradiction happens.
No,
Do you understand my
that
point?
still wouldn't be a contradiction, by the way.
Okay, wait.
Okay, I
If
think,
I can,
okay, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think you understand what a contradiction means.
I just explained to
A
you two ideas.
contradiction is two statements opposing, or essentially a proposition and its negation. That's what it is. That's a contradiction. Now, let's say we have Islam saying La ikraha fid din, and then we have some Muslims forcing the religion on people, or some narrations where there were people at a point in time forcing religion on people. That's not an Islamic contradiction. That's not a contradiction within Islam.
Not the contradictions.
Yeah, it's not a contradiction. But you know what? I think we're hinging very heavy on the contradiction aspect. Do you have any other arguments against Islam?
Any other argument?
Because I think we're hinging because of the fact that you aren't capable of, proving a contradiction, because this wouldn't fall into the stipulations of what a contradiction is. Is there? It doesn't have to be a contradiction, just an argument.
Okay, I want to talk about this Surah 2, verse 256. Okay, actually, when I read the tafsir, Surah 2, verse 256, it means no compulsion on people of the book. Okay, because the Prophet had forced the Arabs to embrace Islam. This is according to Qurtubi.
No. First off, the ayah is not restricted solely to the people of the book, but the asbabun nuzul can be attributed to the people of the book. And second off, where's the evidence that the Prophet, peace be upon him, was forcing people into Islam? Where's the evidence for that?
Okay, I can read you the proof from Tafsir Qurtubi.
Okay, Al-Qurtubi. Let's look at it, man.
Qurtubi, yes, Qurtubi.
Can you read Arabic, by the way?
I cannot read Arabic.
So where are you reading Al-Qurtubi from?
I read from altafsir.com, and then I translate it into English.
Tafsir.com?
Altafsir.com.
Al-Tafsir.com. Okay, Al-Qurtubi.
A-L
I understand.
tafsir.com.
No, don't worry, I understand now. Okay. And what does Al-Qurtubi
Okay,
say? Tell me.
Tafsir Qurtubi, Surah 2, verse 256. The Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, forced the Arabs to embrace Islam and fought them, and he was not satisfied with anything from them except Islam.
I'm
Okay,
looking
this
at
is
Al-Qurtubi.
Tafsir.
Wait, I'm looking at Al-Qurtubi right now. Where the heck are you grabbing this from?
Qurtubi. Okay, let me. Okay,
What the
now I'm
heck?
encountering my. Wait, don't worry. Give me. I'm going to the Tafsir Qurtubi now.
I thought you had it in front of you. What do you mean you're going to it now?
What I had in front of me is the one I copy and paste. Now I'm going to the website there.
This cannot be real, bro.
Yes, this is true. Let me show you. Translate to English. Okay, in Tafsir Qurtubi, there are 3 pages, right?
3 pages?
Yeah, 3 pages. In altafsir.com, the Tafsir Qurtubi, it has 3 pages. Let me see. The narration is the first. Yeah. It's on the page 1.
Okay.
It's here.
Mm-hmm.
The first is that it is abrogated because the Prophet, peace and
That's
blessing be
view
upon
number.
him.
Wait, hold on. By the way, just to clarify, what does Al-Qurtubi say at the beginning of this?
The Almighty statement, there is no compulsion in religion. this verse contains 2 points.
Okay, yeah, and Al-Qurtubi is citing he's citing different scholars' interpretations of the verse. So he's not saying his own position, he is citing the way other people interpreted this verse, correct?
Okay, yes, but
Okay, so
according to
when Al-Qurtubi talks about abrogation, all he says is some scholars say it was abrogated, correct?
not some scholar, because he says that
I'm looking
because
I'm looking
Qurtubi-
at it right now. Yeah, he says some scholars say it's abrogated.
used to mean secondly the scholar. Okay, do you see the part it says secondly scholars differed on the meaning of this verse? Do you see this?
Yeah, scholars
Which-
did differ. Yeah, that's exactly how tafsir works. They
Okay, so
differ
the
on
first-
interpretation. Now,
Okay, okay.
position number 1 is some of them say the verse is abrogated. The other
Because what?
Some of them say the verse is abrogated.
Because
What do you mean?
okay, the verse is abrogated because of what? Because the Prophet forced the Arab to embrace Islam. Do you see that?
No, Al-Qurtubi does not say that. Al-Qurtubi
Oh,
says
it's in
some.
front of
Wait,
my
no.
eyes.
I'm looking at it right now. Al-Qurtubi says the reason why some scholars say it's abrogated is because there were verses revealed after about fighting disbelievers. He doesn't say it's abrogated because the Prophet did it. Nowhere does he say that. Don't lie. Don't
Well,
lie. You
I
can't
think-
lie to my face. I have it right in front of me.
No, this is impossible
You can't
because
lie
I
to
have
my
read.
face. I have it right in front of me, bro. What are you talking about?
I also have the tafsir in Qurtubi in front of me right now. Okay, which one? Okay, can we go to the okay? Where is your tafsir Qurtubi? Can you show me? Where is your website?
I literally just went on Quran.com. I went to Arabi in Arabic.
Quran.com.
Yeah, and I went to
Oh,
Tafsir
right.
al-Qurtubi.
Okay, now let me go to Quran.com. Huh? Give me a second.
Sure, man.
I know Quran.com. I know Quran.com.
I'm sure you
Oh,
do. Do you speak Arabic as well? I would like you to read it to me in Arabic so we can see if you're telling the truth, man.
I cannot read in Arabic, but
Show
today
your screen. I
technology
have it on my
allows-
laptop, but I can put it on my PC screen as well. It's not a problem.
Yes, you can put it on. Now I'm going to Quran.com, verse 2256. Let me see. 24425.
Bro, I'm crying.
Tafsir.
Oh, my days.
Qurtubi. Nice. Okay. How to write? Let me see. Translate.
I'm crying, fam. Oh my days. Cora, stop. Bro, this guy is not genuine. I swear he's not.
How am I not genuine? I have read Tafsir Qurtubi from various websites and it talk about the same thing. And then now you're telling
Wait,
me
the reason
it
why I
does
said
not-
you're not genuine is because, number one, everybody's talking about your follow. Who is in your. Bro, let me ask you a question. Who is in your following list that everybody is telling me to check? Like, who? Let me see. Who are you following, my G? Everybody is so concerned about this. Let me peep it. Hold on.
Please translate below.
Who is this guy following? I'm just seeing a lot of Muslims. He just follows a bunch of Muslims. What are you guys talking about?
Yeah, is that a problem?
What the heck? I don't see anything wrong in here. Am I tripping?
Okay, now the scholar differed concerning the meaning of this verse.
And
Okay,
they
the
hold
first step-
and they hold how many positions? How many positions does Al-Qurtubi cite? It's at the beginning of the tafsir. If you have it in front of you, it's right at the beginning.
Wait. I have the English translation. I just remember I have the English
No,
translation
I know.
for this.
Yeah, I know. Even if you translate it in English, it'll tell you how many positions.
Wait, let me open the book.
The scholars.
Let me open the book.
What do you mean open the book? I thought you had it in front of you.
No, I mean another book which is in
6. Al-Qurtubi says the scholars have 6 positions. Bro, you just told me you had it in front of you. What do you mean, let me get the book? What the heck? Bro, what is going on here? Okay, that kind of just got repetitive, I'm not gonna lie. Arabic to English, chill, he's learning. Yeah, if he has it translated in front of him. I mean, I bet if I translate it, it'll say the same. Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Indeed I can, man. How are you?
Okay, how are you? So, I'm going to give you an argument, but I would like to phrase it more as a question, right? Because I'm trying to learn more.
Of course, man.
Okay. Okay, premise 1 is perfect charity is the self-giving willing of the good of another rational subject for their own sake.
What? Repeat that?
Okay, perfect charity is the self-giving willing of the good of another rational subject for their own sake.
What's the argument
didn't
for
hear?
premise 1?
My argument is simply that, for example, as to self-giving, if you were to take something from someone else and give it to someone else, that's not charity. Willing, because you have to will it, meaning that you cannot do charity when you're forced, right? And doing it out of the interest of the other person for the other person's sake is simply saying that charity does not have an interest towards himself, right?
Wait, what? No, I
cannot do
asked you. Wait, no, I asked you what's the argument? What's the argument for premise 1? That wasn't an argument. That was just you disambiguating each term.
This is the definition of charity.
No.
Okay, define charity for me.
All right. Let's
So
go
we
ahead and
can go
grab a
from there.
definition.
Okay.
A generosity or helpfulness, especially toward the needy or suffering.
Okay, but in this instance, here probably I would say the charity. Yeah, no, we could go from there. Perfect. Second premise is perfect charity is an objective moral perfection.
Is an objective moral perfection, you said? Wait, I
Yeah.
didn't grant premise 1. Are you granting my definition?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I think it's a
my
good one,
so
right?
all my definition is just let's pull it back up. A generosity or helpfulness, especially towards the needy or suffering. That's all the definition is, correct? You're granting me
Yeah,
that.
that's helping someone else,
Yeah, so helping someone else.
I would say. Yeah.
So
yeah, so-
and there's
but
no other,
for
and you're
them-
not adding any other baggage to the definition, correct?
No. I'm not
Perfect.
adding
All right,
anything
premise
else.
2.
But to another subject, right? Perfect charity is an objective moral perfection. Would you agree with this premise?
Perfect charity is a what?
Is an objective moral perfection.
What does that mean?
It means that having well, we could just go from charity is it's objectively good, therefore having it perfect is a moral perfection.
Wait, what does it mean for something to be a moral perfection? What does that mean?
It means that it's a good
So
moral
just say it's moral.
attribute.
Just say charity is
Yeah,
moral.
yeah. I'm just saying that's objectively moral.
Brother, you don't have to add all of the. Wait, it's yeah.
Okay.
Charity is
Yeah,
objectively
but-
moral. Yeah.
but- Yeah, but God is perfect, therefore He has it perfect.
Yeah, God is
Right.
perfect. Yes.
Yeah. So this is just the point that I'm trying to get across here.
Okay, I understand. So go to the next one.
Objective moral perfection or good things are eternally grounded in God's nature.
Are eternally granted? What does that mean?
Grounded.
Grounded. Okay, sure. Well,
Yeah.
what do we mean by that?
We mean that everything that is good comes from God.
Everything that is good comes from God. In what sense?
In the sense that God is good and God is the source of good.
Yeah. What does it mean for God to be the source of good here? Like disambiguate that.
So what I mean by this is everything that we get from every good thing come from God.
I mean, everything, generally speaking, comes from God. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say that like a child's suffering comes directly from God.
Yeah,
It's a consequence of God's existence.
yeah, sure, but that still comes from God, correct?
Yeah, indirectly, but I'm saying that this.
Yeah, but it still
yeah,
comes
but
from God.
everything.
Yes, sure, yes.
Yeah, but even if you were to say everything, still good things come from God.
Yeah, good things come from God.
Yeah.
But the point is, the fact that it's moral, obviously, is grounded within God's nature, correct?
Yeah, exactly. This is my point.
That's the point.
Since
Okay,
it's
so we're
grounded
not
and it's
talking
imposed-
about the charity itself, but rather the fact that it is moral or the fact that it is good. The reason why it's good is because it is in line with the goodness that is within God's nature or God's essence, correct?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Just I'm saying this.
Yeah.
Therefore, charity exists eternally in God.
Charity exists eternally in God?
Yeah.
Perfect. That's exactly why I disambiguated, and I said that the charity itself does not exist eternally within God, but rather the fact that it is moral. The reason as to why it is moral is because it is in line with the goodness that is within God's nature, or the perfection that God possesses.
Yeah, but
So the charity itself is not within God, but rather the reason why the charity is moral is because charity is something that is good by virtue of the fact that it is in line with the goodness in God's nature, not the charity
Yeah,
itself
but-
being within God's nature.
So you would say that God does not have charity?
Well, what do you mean God has charity? What does that mean?
Does he have the ability to be charitable, eternally?
The ability? The ability to
Yeah,
help the
does
suffering.
he-
So
does he
wait, okay,
express
perfect.
also that ability?
So we're not talking about the expression, we're talking about ability now.
Ability and the ability to express it also.
Oh yeah, the ability to express something, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, God. So
Um,
and charitability is just helping those who are in need, correct?
Not necessarily in need, but helping someone else.
No, the definition that I gave you was specifically in need.
It says especially.
No, I said
definition says
yeah,
especially.
especially toward the needy or suffering.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
God
that doesn't
eternally
mean
possesses.
necessarily-
God eternally possesses the ability to help someone other outside of himself or other than himself.
Yeah, eternally. So there's another entity apart
No,
from
not by
himself
necessity.
that-
Possessing the ability to do something doesn't by necessity mean that this other thing exists. For
So,
example,
probably
wait, hold
I
on.
heard
For
you-
example,
Yes.
I can possess the ability. God, wait, let me ask you this: does God possess the ability to create?
As insofar as he does what he wills.
Yes, so God possesses the ability to create eternally. However, that doesn't mean God is creating from eternity. And that doesn't and that
So-
also wait, hold on. And that also doesn't mean that creation exists from eternity either.
No. I'm not saying
So
that.
the
Obviously,
fact,
there
yeah.
would
So the
be-
point is, does God eternally possess the ability to help a subject other than himself? Yes, absolutely. But this doesn't now imply that a subject other than himself by necessity exists. That's the point. Because you can possess the ability to do X, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you eternally need to be actualizing X. That's the point.
So you wouldn't, just to say, right? You wouldn't say that he is purely actual.
No, Muslims do not believe that God is pure act.
That probably was attacking a version of Islam.
Okay,
that
so
you don't
you're
hold.
you're attacking
Yeah,
a
yeah.
position that I don't hold.
My
'Cause we
bad.
don't
I
believe
should
God
have
is pure.
asked earlier.
It's
So
okay,
I'm
okay. What were you trying to
happy
run
with-
like modal collapse? Like what's going on?
No, I was trying to say like, since you believe that he's pure act, and he has
If God
to
is
have
pure
all the
act and
abilities.
God doesn't act temporally, but rather God has one eternal act. If it's the case that God eternally possesses the ability to be charitable, then by virtue of that, God is also always going to be charitable to some individual outside of himself. Therefore, another eternal being outside of God exists. That would be the argument, correct?
Yeah, you're smart.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, that doesn't work against my position because I don't
Yeah.
believe that.
Yeah. So I'm happy that this is the part in which I want to really ask questions.
No worries, bro. It's fine.
So, do you believe that God's attributes are identical to Allah?
No.
So can I ask what you believe is the relation between the attributes and Allah?
Yeah,
Attributes
I
of
believe.
Allah,
Yeah, so I believe that God's attributes describe him, right? So and it describes what he does and can do, right? So God, obviously, within my view, I don't believe in absolute divine simplicity. I believe that God's attributes are distinct from him, right? And they subsist within
Okay.
his essence simultaneously.
So
Sorry, good?
sorry. So you would you say that, like, I don't know, Al Rahman, I think I pronounced it bad.
That's a title, that's not an attribute.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can say
title.
rahma, we
Sorry,
can
I
say
should have done
mercy.
it on
We can say
translate.
mercy. Instead
Yeah,
of
mercy,
ar-Rahman,
yeah.
rahma, we can say mercy, yeah.
So when we say that Allah, Al, I don't know, probably I'm saying it wrongly, but the mercy of Allah, Allah is the merciful one, right?
Yes, Allah is the most merciful.
When we say that, that is it on predication or on identity?
Okay, so the titleage here, God is the most merciful. And what we mean by this is we are saying that God eternally and necessarily possesses the ability to be merciful, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah,
So
you
would
understand
say
that,
that's on
correct?
predication.
So obviously
you
this
would
is
say
a
that
description of his
predication.
attributes, yes. We're not
So,
saying
yeah,
that God,
predication.
we're not saying that mercy is identical to God and God is identical to mercy. No, we're not,
No.
we don't believe that, obviously.
Well, some Muslims do. So I'm just asking
Yeah, but
because
the
some Muslims do.
orthodox Muslim view, so we'll say the Athari view in this instance, is that God is not identical to his attributes, but rather his attributes are distinct from him. However, they are not separate from him.
Yeah, obviously, because separate will mean
Yeah, separation
a lot
whilst
of
them
things.
simultaneously being eternal would mean a multitude of eternal
Composition and
things and
everything.
composition, all this. Yeah, exactly. It would have different implications, but that's my position, right?
Yeah. So you would say that. I guess the question might be on whether or not those properties are inside the being of Allah.
What do you mean by if by inside you mean intrinsic? Intrinsic meaning it subsists within his essence. Yes, all of God's attributes subsist within his essence. Yes.
Yeah, but those are not away from Allah, right?
What do you mean away? Are we talking when you
I
say
mean,
inside? Are you speaking spatially, or are we talking about terminology like internal? What is the word I use? Not extramental. What the heck? Extrinsic and intrinsic. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, so you would say that it's intrinsic.
Yes, the attributes are intrinsic.
Okay, yeah. Because if they were outside,
Yeah,
so my
extrinsic,
question
then
would be,
different commitments and things that we would
does it
include too.
depend? Does it depend on those properties to be Allah?
Well, what does it mean to depend? Like a real dependency relation? No, but we affirm a counterfactual dependency relation between the attributes and him,
Yeah,
which just means the attributes imply him and he implies the attributes. So that you know what a counterfactual dependency is, right?
No, can you tell me that?
Yeah, so a counterfactual dependency relation is not a real dependency relation, but rather all counterfactual dependency is like, let's say we have C and D. C and D would be counterfactually dependent upon each other if C implied D and D implied C. So it's implication. So it's not an actual dependency relation, but rather one implies the other and the other implies one. Do you understand?
Yeah, but Allah wouldn't be Allah without those attributes, right?
Yeah, absolutely, because Allah implies the attributes and the attributes imply Allah. But that wouldn't be a real dependency relation, that would be a counterfactual dependency relation.
I don't remember the Arabic phrase for this, but do you believe that those attributes are not Allah and they are not other than Allah?
Yeah, when we say not Allah, all by that we mean is they are not identical to him, and not other than Allah, all that means is that they are not extrinsic to him or separate from him. So yes, if we disambiguate it in that manner, if we say not him meaning not identical and not him meaning not separate, then yes.
So I'm just asking, right? How would you say to someone who's saying, like, how does that not break the law of excluded?
Yeah, because of the way that I just disambiguated it. When we say not him, all that not him means is it's not identical to him, right? So it wouldn't be an A equals A situation. And not him, all that means, and now on face value and utilizing the English language, that would, on the apparent, sound like a breaking of the law of excluded middle, right? But all we mean by not him is they are not separate from him.
Okay,
so when we disambiguate it like that, it would not be a violation of the law of excluded middle.
So if I can I try to summarize your position so
yeah,
I
of
don't
course.
strawman you?
Yeah, of course.
So you would say that Allah eternally possesses His intrinsic attributes.
Yeah, so all attribute, yes, every single attribute that is intrinsic to Allah, specifically when we talk about attributes that are dhati, so صفات ذاتية, so for example, love, mercy, and so on and so forth, all of these attributes would eternally subsist within his essence. And the reason why I clarified these specific types of attributes is because we also have a separate category of attributes called, صفات فعلية or صفات اختيارية, which are in fact intrinsic to his essence but would not be eternal, right? That's something that Athari Muslims hold to. But specifically when we talk about the sifat dhatiyya, for example, Allah having the ability to love, having the ability to be merciful, having the ability to be forgiving, having the ability to create, and so on and so forth, these are all abilities that he possessed from eternity.
Okay. Can you hear me still?
Yes.
Okay. So I guess my question here will be, do you believe that Allah is the best of all deceivers?
The best of all deceivers?
Yeah.
Wait, that's not a name of Allah, so no, I only affirm for Allah what he affirms for himself, so no.
Wasn't there a verse on it? Probably I misquoted it or something.
Yeah, that's a common argument that people bring, where they quote
Probably
a verse
I heard it wrong.
that they quote a verse. I believe it's in relation. There's two verses. The popular one that they quote is in relation to the children of Israel and their plot to harm Jesus, and it says that they plotted and Allah plotted, or they planned and Allah planned, and Allah is the best of planners. خير الماكرين. So people, what they do is they take that word. That word, depending on the context, can mean different things. It can mean plan, it can mean plot, and they take this one translation of the word, or one way in which this Arabic word can be used. They take deceived, they throw it in there. No, contextually, what it means is plan.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe I just heard maybe a Christian say that, and
maybe. I mean, it's a common thing that people hear every now and then. So I mean, obviously, you're asking questions, so it's not a problem whatsoever.
Yeah. So I would ask, right, in regards to the crucifixion, would you say that Allah deceived people into believing that Jesus was crucified?
Okay, so it depends the view that you take. So let's say, for example, if you believe that Allah is the one that made it to appear so. Now, what does deception mean? Let me ask you, what's your definition of deception?
Deception means to make someone believe something that is not true.
Does deception... Okay, so the definition that I take of deception is that it requires ill intent. So, deception, generally speaking, is to essentially, from the way that I've understood deception, is it usually implies some sort of ill intent from the one who is deceiving. Right? Now... Sorry?
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know?
I don't know. I'm thinking about it because someone can deceive someone else even when not knowing that he's deceiving someone else.
Yeah, wait, hold on. But the definition of deception, generally speaking, I would agree. Like, for example, deception usually implies that the individual that is doing the deceiving has some sort of ill intention in it. Right? So we don't believe that Allah Azza wa Jal would deceive one with ill intent, or make somebody believe something that is incorrect with ill intent. However, Allah Azza wa Jal, what he can do is he could allow for people to believe in something that is not false with positive intent. Sorry, that is false with positive intent. For example, the benefit of people believing that Jesus was crucified, specifically the people in his time, is obviously the children of Israel. They were plotting to unalive him, and they would have continued with these false beliefs of, unaliving their prophets and doing all these different things. So Allah Azza wa Jal allowed for them to believe that Jesus was crucified while simultaneously saving him, and then clarifying later that he was not the one that was crucified, or that he wasn't crucified, full stop. So we don't believe that Allah Azza wa Jal had any incorrect intention whatsoever.
I will just say here, I'm sorry if I'm making probably a very atheistic objection to this. But I would
No,
just
no, you
say
go ahead.
that all the people that died, for example, Peter and the apostles that died professing the idea that Jesus was crucified, will that be kind of an intent, not an unintended consequence, but something that was bad that come about from an action of Allah?
I understand. So, first off, I don't believe that you can prove that the disciples, specifically Peter, James, and so on and so forth, died professing that Jesus was crucified. I don't believe that any Christian can prove that to me. In fact, I believe that the disciples of Jesus, if anything, were aware of the fact that he wasn't the one crucified. Right? So that's my position specifically on that matter. But let's say, for example, we grant that. Now, if
Okay.
it's the case that individuals died professing that Jesus was the one that was crucified, well, first off, naturally speaking, it's the case that, but we can make this argument all over the place, right? We can make this argument all over the place. Now, if it's the case, like let's say, for example, the disciples who were correctly following the teachings of Jesus Christ, and let's say, hypothetically speaking, they believed that he was crucified, they would not be held accountable in a negative manner for this, right? Because at the end of the day, the time separating, so let's say, when was Jesus crucified according to the Christians? Was it like 30 CE? Let's put it around 30 CE. 33 CE, okay. So 33 CE, all the way to the time in which Allah Azza wa Jal clarified that Jesus was not the one that was crucified. Between those two times, believing that Jesus was the one that was crucified was not a blameworthy belief. And the reason why is because it was not yet clarified that he was not crucified. So let's say, hypothetically speaking, if somebody held that view... Sorry, go ahead.
It's like with the children that doesn't know, they will not be
Yeah,
accountable.
God does not hold people accountable for what they are ignorant of, right?
Yeah.
So the time from 33 CE all the way to the point in which Allah Azza wa Jalla clarified that he was not the one that was crucified, Allah is not going to hold the people who believed that he was crucified accountable for the fact that he believed he was crucified simpliciter. Now, you know what simpliciter means, right?
Yeah, it simply means without any clarification,
Yes.
without anything
So
else.
simpliciter, no other commitments. However, let's say we had individuals between 33 CE and the time in which Allah clarified who not only believed in a crucifixion, but also packed on other beliefs, such as him being God incarnated and him dying for the sins of mankind, and all of these beliefs essentially saying that Jesus was God in the flesh who passed away. If they pack on those theological beliefs onto the crucifixion, yes, they can be held accountable negatively for that, because a crucifixion simpliciter from those times was not something that you could negatively be held accountable for, because it was not known to them that he was not the one that was crucified. However, what was known is the fact that God can't become a human and die, right? So if they believed that, then that would be a blameworthy belief. Does that make sense?
When you say that yeah. So I'm asking, if someone, according to you, the Bible has been corrupted, right?
Yes, I believe the Bible is corrupted.
Can I ask, do you have an idea on when, or
That's a good question. So,
like no?
in terms of the New Testament, we'll begin with the New Testament. I believe that the moment in which they even began trying to physically write down the New Testament documents, it started being corrupted from the get-go. I don't believe that there's an original document.
So I'm gonna try and like, I'm not really good on this, but doesn't the Quran in a place say to the people of the gospel to judge by what was revealed to us?
Yeah, so in Surah 5, verse 47,
Yeah.
no, it does not say in present tense that the people of the gospel should judge by the gospel. No, it's speaking in the
But
past
they
tense.
should have when.
Sorry?
So does it say when they should have judged by it?
Yeah, so the verse prior to that clarifies. So the verse prior to that, it's speaking in the past tense. And the verse in the past tense, it says that we revealed the gospel to Jesus, right? And he says, it says as a confirmation of that which came before, and so on and so forth. So the verse prior is in the past tense. And then the beginning of verse 47 is wa. So wa is a conjunction. So verse 47 is a
Okay.
continuation of verse 46, which is in the past tense. So verse 47, Ibn Kathir actually clarifies this. Ibn Kathir clarifies that verse 47 not only is a continuation of verse 46, but is also simultaneously speaking in the past tense with regards to the people who had the gospel in Jesus' time. Now, the next question you're going to ask is like, okay, I thought you said that it was being corrupted from the get-go. What does it mean to have the gospel? So we as Muslims, I don't believe that the gospel, the Injil, was a physical document at first. And what I mean
Yeah,
by at
obviously.
first is I believe that Jesus was orally preaching the gospel, right? So what it
Yeah,
would have
yeah.
meant to have the gospel would have been to listen to what Jesus was orally proclaiming. However, when they began starting to try and write down the physical documents, they began adding things and subtracting things and editing things and stuff of that nature. So chapter 5 verse 47 is speaking with regards to the people in Jesus's time having the Injil.
Yeah. So would you say that like the authors of the Gospels that we call Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, they added things of that Jesus said, that supposedly Jesus said, but they really didn't say?
I'm sorry, repeat that?
So would you say that like the four Gospels added things to Jesus that he did not say in those accounts?
I would say yes. There were definitely things that were added that Jesus did not say. Yes.
Okay, so what is your way to say like they added this, they added that?
That's a good question.
Is
So,
there?
in terms of knowing what we can accept and what we can't, well, first off, we can utilize textual criticism. So, textual criticism is essentially the study of trying to find out what is original to the text of the Bible
Yeah,
and
yeah.
what is not original. If we can find clear evidence of a verse being added, whether it be by virtue of manuscript tradition, whether it be by virtue of the fact that it's absent from patristic writings, and so on and so forth, then obviously we can come to the conclusion that a specific verse was added in. Like, for example, let me think. Yeah, so
The story of the adulterous woman, I think
the story of the adulterous woman is
later.
one example. Yes, that is a good example. The story of the adulterous woman is one example. The long ending of the Gospel of Mark, where Jesus is essentially saying that the believers will be able to drink poison and not be affected, and they will speak in tongues and so on and so forth. We can also make an argument from a textual criticism standpoint that this was like added to the Bible, and things of that nature.
Yeah. So I would say that like you wouldn't say that in the Bible Jesus claiming to be God would be a problem for you.
So, not by necessity, right? I don't believe that there are any explicit claims where Jesus says that he is God within the four Gospels. However, even if it was the case that there was some sort of a divinity claim in the New Testament, that wouldn't necessarily be problematic to me, because at the end of the day, I believe that there is corruption present within the New Testament.
Yeah, but at some point I would just ask this question, right? When I'm sorry if I'm going all over the place.
No, it's okay, man. You're asking questions, man.
Okay. So I will just ask this question, which is, doesn't the Quran say that the message of the followers of Jesus will be dominant?
Yes. And when it says that the message of the followers of Jesus is going to be dominant, who were the followers of Jesus? The Christians today are not
That's
followers of
a good
Jesus.
question.
So we would say, yes, the message of the followers of Jesus will become dominant, and it became dominant by virtue of Islam and the Muslims, because the Muslims would be the true followers of Jesus.
Yeah, so, but from the point in which Jesus ascended, you believe he ascended, right?
Yes, I believe that he ascended to the second heaven.
Yeah. I wasn't sure about that. I didn't want to lie about it. So the message of Jesus proclaiming to be God within the and his crucifixion within the first and was it 7th century? Yeah, 7th century. Was it the dominant message in the world, regarding to Jesus, what the message of Jesus was.
No, I don't believe that it was the dominant message in the world. The idea that Jesus is the most high God and this refined version of Trinitarianism that people have today, and the idea of the deity of Christ and so on and so forth, I don't believe that it was the dominant message early on whatsoever.
Yeah, but for example, in the idea of the resurrection, the resurrection, obviously no, the crucifixion, the only groups that really deny the crucifixion, you quoted one in the debate with Lady Logic, I don't remember what
the
name you
Basilidians.
used.
But here's the thing,
The
though. We're
Basilidians.
talking about the belief of Christians. Christians don't
Yeah.
believe in a crucifixion simpliciter. Remember? They don't believe just a crucifixion. However, what they do believe is what I described, which is a crucifixion and multiple other commitments packed on. Right? So they believe not only a crucifixion, because a crucifixion is not sufficient to be a Christian, right? You need to believe more
obviously.
than a crucifixion. There are more theological beliefs to be packed on. For example, you need to believe that the one who was
Jesus is
crucified was
God.
Jesus, the Son of God, and God himself in flesh. You need to believe that it was for sin atonement. You need to believe that this was prophesized previously. Like all of these different theological beliefs need to be packed onto it. So believing in the crucifixion in and of itself is not enough to say that the Christian belief as we know it today was dominant, right? Because the Christian belief as we know it today, with all of these commitments, was not dominant.
I will maybe I should study it more, but I think that the only reason that like the Basilidians rejected the idea of Jesus crucified was because they believe that Jesus is God and God doesn't die on the cross according to them, and therefore, they were also the Nestorians who believed that there were two Jesuses, and the Arians who believed that like
Yeah, there was a lot
The-
of, like, for example,
yeah,
like Christianity
heresies and-
and all of this theology, it was not set in stone and solidified for so long. In fact, I would say even like in terms of all of their theological commitments, I would say that all of these commitments weren't solidified until after Islam came, right? Like, for example, I'll give you an example of the Crusades. The Crusades weren't just done against the Muslims. Christians were unaliving other Christians for their theological beliefs and to get their theological beliefs out of here.
in the fourth one, in the fourth
Yeah,
one.
there were, so the Christian belief today was not dominant before Islam. And when Islam came, it completely dominated what Christianity is, right? Islam came, and right now, in terms of Islam, if we really break it down, if we really break it down, and we get to the nitty gritty, because obviously we're going to be talking about not Orthodox Christianity from like, the Orthodox Church, but I mean correct Christianity. So all of these theological commitments, such as you guys believe that Jesus is God, you guys believe that the crucifixion happened for theological reasons, you believe that the Messiah was divine, all of this prophecy and so on and so forth. If we really break it down, Islam is the biggest religion today. If we compare, sorry, go ahead.
It's the fastest growing religion.
And yeah, exactly. And it is simultaneously the fastest growing religion. So we have all of this. And when we see these verses in the Quran saying that the message of the believers of Jesus will become dominant, or the believers of Jesus will become dominant, this is fulfilled by Islam and by the Muslims. It's not fulfilled by what we see with Christians today.
So I have a really bad claim, probably.
No, you can go ahead. But by the way,
can you like help?
Yeah, you can make your claim. I'll respond, and then I do want to go ahead and wrap it up.
Yeah. So I would say that Jesus in the Quran doesn't explicitly say that he's not God.
Interesting.
Right.
But Jesus
So-
explicitly, when he's having a dialogue with Allah Azza wa Jalla, I believe it's in Surah Al-Ma'idah, Allah, he says explicitly, Allah says explicitly, did you tell the people to take you and your mother as gods besides me, right? And Jesus completely denies it.
Yeah, in that context, I would say that he's rejecting the and your mom.
No,
Right.
but Allah Azza wa Jal, he mentioned two things. He mentioned both, and Jesus is responding to both
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, it's like, I will say in propositional logic, I would say that he's rejecting the idea that he said me and my mom.
No, wait, no. That's not what's happening. Like, for example, if I ask you, did you claim that you, like, let me ask you, what do you believe in a religion? And if so, what religion do you believe in?
Yeah, Christianity.
Okay, so if I ask you, are you and your friend Christian? And you say no, would that on face value mean that you are denying that both you and your friend are Christian?
I will be saying that I'm denying that me and him together we are Christians.
Okay,
Doesn't necessarily
but hold on,
follow
but
that-
don't you also agree that if it's the case that you are denying, you are negating this proposition, if it's the case that you are a Christian and your friend isn't, you would have qualified? Because that's how conversations work, right? There would have to be some sort of qualification here.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say that he necessarily is denying his divinity, even because we see clearly signs that are attributed to Allah in the Quran, attributed to Jesus.
Give me an example.
I don't remember the verse, but when he breathes on the clay, just like Allah did in the creation, and gives birth to
No,
a bird.
where's the just as?
Huh? Just as.
Where's it?
What do
And
you mean by
also,
that?
if anything, that's really just an evidence against it, because Jesus, it says that it's done bi-idhnillah, by the permission of
By
Allah, or
Allah's
by the will
permission.
of Allah. So that proves that that's not an ability that Jesus possessed inherently. And if Jesus was divine, then there would be no reason for the qualification of bi-idhnillah. And the issue
Yeah, but
is,
that-
if anything, that's kind of a non-argument, because where does Muhammad, peace be upon him, deny his divinity in the Quran? Where does Solomon deny his divinity in the Quran? Where does
Yeah,
Abraham deny his divinity? So even if there isn't an explicit "I am not God," that doesn't necessarily mean that there is. Whoa,
No, yeah.
hold on, sorry.
I wouldn't say that.
My bad.
I wouldn't say that. It's you're saying basically it's an exact word fallacy.
Not
Last thing I
even
would
just an
say
exact
is-
word fallacy. It's just, it's kind of, in a way, a disingenuous way to argue. You get what I mean? Because just because there isn't an explicit negation doesn't mean that there isn't negation full stop. Or that there isn't negation full stop, I guess we can say.
Last thing, and then I'll go, is that by Allah's permission doesn't necessarily entail that Allah is the author, right? I can go and ask my mom, can I go to your house, right? And still I would be the author of doing that thing.
Okay, I understand. So the issue with that is, the point is, there would be no significance. It would essentially be redundant for the verse to say by the will of Allah if it's the case that Jesus possessed this ability by himself. Right? It would be redundant.
So you're saying it wouldn't make any sense to clarify.
Yeah, there would be no reason
Okay.
for qualification if Jesus possessed divinity. And he would have been able to do it inherently. Like, for example, the reason why I would go and ask my mom for permission for something is because I wouldn't be allowed to do it without her permission, even though simultaneously, I possess the ability to do such a thing. Now, the issue is with that, is here, because we're talking about divinity and the ability to inherently do something. There would be no significance of the qualification, bi-idhnillah, if it's the case that he inherently possessed that ability, and simultaneously there's no reason for it to say permission, because God doesn't need permission to do things.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Alright, for sure, man.
Yeah, okay.
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 Alright, well-
How do I go out?
This was a cool conversation, bro. I appreciate you for being respectful. I really do, man. And, I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.
Alright, for sure.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was a solid convo, I'm not gonna lie. That was a solid conversation. May Allah guide him. He was cool. Alright, I think I'm gonna wrap it up, inshallah. I know there's a lot of people in the requests. But that was actually, I'm not gonna lie, that conversation started kind of nerdy. I'm sorry you guys had to experience the nerdiness in the first 10 minutes. Because we were just yapping about philosophy. We were yapping about philosophy for a while, but, the conversation got good at the end, inshallah. Everybody that was watching it had extracted some sort of benefit from it. And with that being said, I think I'm going to wrap it up. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And, may Allah bless and preserve you guys. Allahumma ameen. I love and appreciate you all for the sake of Allah. And with that being said, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.